Men stay trying to triangulate women against other women. They do. And there, there are tons of examples of that. One of the main examples of that, though, is when misogynistic men try to falsely accuse feminists for calling women pick-me's for the complete like wrong reasons. They try to act like it just because a woman thinks differently that feminist women are calling them pick-me's as to like ostracize them or whatever, but that's not the case. And that is the very same argument that if a white person, which they do, they try to triangulate black people against other black people. They say, "Oh, black people are liberal-minded black people are always calling black people coons for saying stuff like, black people, you need to work harder. You need to go to work." And right-wing black Republicans would make against, like left-leaning or liberal black people. Like if a black person calls, a right-leaning or a conservative-minded black person that's coming out here saying toxic things about black people, a coon, they'll be like, "Oh, y'all always calling black people who think outside the box a coon." Like, no, I'm calling you a coon because you're saying things that are harmful about black people. You're a coon because you're saying coonish things. That's what makes you a coon. It's not because you think outside of the box. Like, what the fuck? That's false. You try to spin this false narrative. And it would be like and work harder and get an education. Like, who is calling you a coon for telling black people that they need to go get an education? Nobody, nobody has ever called a black person a coon in the history of niggerdom because they told black people to get an education. It's always this nonsensical shit, right? And that's what these men do. They try to reframe these situations and be like, "Oh, women are always calling out women who are free thinkers and calling them pick-me's for saying stuff like, y'all need to, women, you need to have respect for yourselves." And then the feminists will come and be like, "Who you talking to? You don't need to tell me that." Like that. Nobody is getting mad at women for telling women to do any like just normal, regular shit. That's not what's going on, right? This shit is crazy. This needs to stop, man. This is very unbecoming of a man. It's very sassy behavior, I would say.
Ladies, I got a question for y'all. Do y'all ever get tired of being called pick-me's whenever you don't agree with other women? Y'all can't have no thoughts of your own without being called a fucking pick-me. Yeah, I don't think we should hit men because he'll probably beat our ass. You pick-me ass bitch, he gonna beat
That you think that's what women are saying? No, that's not what women are saying. By the way, I've never heard a woman call women pick-me's for saying that. Never. I do hear women call these types of women pick-me's.
I'ma say something that's gonna make y'all mad, but I date men who hit women. I do. I don't date abusive men, but I do date men who hit women.
Ma'am, by definition, that's an abusive man if you would hit a woman. By definition. Just just so we're all clear. By definition, a man who hits a woman is an abuser. He is an abuser. Not a man who would defend himself or protect himself against a woman that actually could cause him bodily harm. That's different. That's completely different. But hitting a woman simply because she hit you, you are an abuser in my mind if you're a man. That's not you don't have there's really not an excuse. If a woman punches you in your jaw, if my wife hit me in my face, so right? I'm gonna leave her. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like she's an abuser. I'll leave her. I'll take my kids and I'll leave her because what the fuck are you doing? You put your hands on me, right? But I don't need to hit her back. My wife can't. You know what I mean? Like she could maybe whip my ass if I'm in my sleep with a weapon. But if she punches me and we're both standing there, like my ego is the only thing that'll be hurt. Like I could just easily leave. So no, even in that scenario, you don't need to hit a woman.
Women. And me and my daughter was just talking about that the other day. We was talking about it. We had a real conversation about it. And then today I see this video of this man talking about he don't hit women, but he hit women. And I keep trying to tell people, I very much date the Kevin Gates type. You know what I'm saying? He don't hit women, but he'll beat a hoe. I very much date them kind. That's why when y'all be like, he hit women, I just be quiet though. Cause I gotta hear the story. I gotta hear the story before I just condemn him for hitting women, because some of y'all got to get hit. And I'm going to just tell you, no woman ever deserve. Actually, some of y'all deserve to be put in the ground. And we just going to say that for real. Some of y'all belong in the dirt. You don't know how to act. You don't know how to control yourself. So, yeah, you get put down like a hellhound. This man said, y'all talking about that man who wife or girlfriend, whoever's finna get jumped by 5 women, he put his hands on them. He said, let me tell you something. I don't care if my wife could beat 6 bitches. One of them swing. He said, I don't care if it's 6 or 1. Ain't nobody touching my wife. He said, I don't care what gender, what color, nothing. He said, my wife, when she married me, she did not sign up to be a fighter. That's not what she gonna be out here doing. You threaten her, you threaten me. I don't understand the concept. Y'all be like, never, never. Let me tell you something. I'm used. Listen, I've been in some shit where men have baby mamas and all that, and they will knock a baby mama down before the baby mama ever touch me. And then I be looking at the baby mamas going, I don't think this your man, boo. And when I leave, he gonna take you back, because that's what people do. But in the meantime, you gotta know your role, and this ain't it, boo. He clearly said it ain't you. Because if it was me, and he did that to me, ain't no choice, boo. Ain't no choice. He yours. He not mine. I'm not gonna chase a man who don't want me. Some of y'all are out here chasing men who don't want y'all, putting yourself in positions to get beat up. No means no, Sarah. He said no. He don't want to go. He's leaving you. You won't let go. Now you a stalker. You're insane. It's a thin line between love and hate. And what's that lady that boiled the rabbit? Some of y'all act like that. You're dangerous and delusional. So yes, they men who hit women and put them in the ground. Men, women, children, pets, animals, any threat. All threats. He handled that. Don't matter what the threat is, little, small. He eliminates threats of all kinds. So don't ever think that because you come in a package that he won't send your ass FedEx ground. Yes, he will send you right on your way, baby. Not today. Not today. Thank you.
Yeah, brother. That's that's not a pick me. That's not dangerous. That's not dangerous rhetoric. You think that that's cool? You got a kid. Hopefully you don't have a daughter, but if you have a daughter, you think that that's okay? Like that's that. I've never heard of women are not mad at women just for thinking outside the box. They're upset for women. They're upset at women for saying things that perpetuate harm against women and children. She just said she's okay with men killing women and children and pets. That she's not a pick me though, right? She just thinking outside the box. You got to hear her out. She right. Yeah. Right? Okay. Bet.
A fucking pick me. Yeah, I don't think we should hit men because he'll probably beat our ass. You pick me ass bitch, he gonna beat you up next. Whoa, all she said was don't put your hands on men. Hey ladies, if your man takes you out all the time and you never have to lift a finger, every now and then just treat him to something. Show some appreciation. You pick me ass bitch, he ain't about to spend no money on you. What you want, my man or something? God damn. Hey ladies, you should stop giving your cat up so quick. You know what I'm saying? Make the guys respect me. You pick me ass bitch, this my cat, I'll do what I want with it. Like, every time, y'all get it the worst. And it's y'all get it the worst from other women. You cannot have your own thoughts. You gotta go with what the majority of women are saying, unless you're a fucking pick me. They're gonna call you a pick me. Y'all don't get tired of being called, for the ones who call women pick me's, y'all don't get tired of calling people pick me's?
If she's a pick me, she's a pick me. That's just what it is. You could get how are you? Where are your videos about men who call men simps for telling men they need to treat women with respect and they need to validate women's experiences because they know that they've done that to women and they see what women go through. You're not making videos about that. You're making videos trying to triangulate women against other women and making up these fucking false narratives because you can't produce a video where a woman is calling a woman out simply for saying, hey, women, you should be like, you shouldn't give a man your cat or whatever the fuck You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even, like, women don't even respond to shit like that. Women already know that. Women have been told that forever. And the logic there, the illogic there, the part that you're missing, brother, is that telling women, putting the onus on women to change a man as opposed to men just seeing women as human beings is a problem, and actually is the reason why a lot of women don't like that type of content and don't gravitate toward that type of rhetoric. Right? Telling women that's respectability politics, rebranded, repackaged. That's all you're doing. Oh, if you withhold your body from him, he'll respect you more. Not necessarily, because if he's gonna respect you, he's gonna respect you. I never respected a woman more or less. Me personally, I've never respected a woman more or less based on how fast or how slowly she let me hit. I'm not gonna even hold you. I've had women that didn't have sex for months, right? Which at that time seemed like a long time. But you know what I'm saying? I dated women that we didn't have sex for months. And that wasn't the thing that made me respect them. I already respected them though. You see what I'm saying? I already liked them. So whether if we had sex before and we had sex before we were official, and then we ended up being official. And then we ended up dating, and we ended up being boyfriend and girlfriend, and so on and so forth. So that didn't stop me. And there have been women who I slept with faster than that, and we kept hanging out, and we ended up dating longer. Like, me personally, I've never thought about it like, and the reason why I'm using myself is because I know that, I'm proof that it doesn't matter. You don't have to base your respect on a woman on how fast or slow she lets you have sex with her, because you want to have, like, you also had sex with her. So shouldn't you be like just as culpable? You know what I mean? Like, doesn't that show that you actually lack respect for yourself then? If that's the thing that we're trying to tell women, is that, oh, if you aren't chaste as a woman, like, if you aren't withholding your body from a man, then that means you don't respect yourself. Okay, cool. So then why aren't we telling men the exact same thing? Why is the onus only put on the woman? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't actually cure the disease, right? But I'll give you another example as to the types of women that women are calling pick-me's, right? So we already had that woman just said the wildest shit. That was crazy. Now we have this.
The fact that you frame women as being held back by misogyny is the very reason why I started this series, Women Are the Privileged Class in the United States. For decades, we have been told over and over and over again that we as women are oppressed, that thought and that narrative is ingrained so deeply within us that we can't actually stand back and see the privilege that we've gained. We've been repeatedly conditioned since we were little girls to live in our victimhood, that we don't even recognize that in reality, we have protections, programs, and choices that men and boys don't. That's not oppression, that's superiority in key areas of society. And as women are being continually told we're still left behind, men and boys are quietly being left further and further behind. That imbalance is the reason why we need to talk about these things so loudly. But in typical woman fashion, women don't like it when the focus is taken off of them, because they can no longer live in their victimhood when somebody like me comes along and points out exactly how privileged I am. And I will not allow the voices of men to be silenced, because one day my son will grow up and he will be a man. And if things don't change, this societal imbalance is only going to get worse and worse. Many laws and government offices and funding represent that women have become the privileged class in the United States. And I will say it over and over again. So now you have the day you deserve, darling. Stay triggered.
First, you had the brand of pick me that perpetuates like actual harm and violence and justifies violence against women. That was the first extremely dangerous person. Then you have this woman who invalidates their women's real world lived experiences, and tries to gaslight them into accepting that they aren't victims. They're actually privileged in our society, right? That is to get them to stop actually fighting for their rights and for their protections. And there was something interesting that lady said that's the complete opposite. She was saying that, like, yeah, women are like upset with not being the center of attention. Women are not, we do not live in a woman-centered society at all. That's why we always talk about decentering men. Decentering men is a political movement as much as it's a personal, interpersonal movement. It is more so a political movement. Policies center men. Policies don't affect men. Policies disproportionately negatively impact women and children and marginalized groups of people, Black people, gay people, trans people, so on and so forth. That is what our policies do the vast majority of the time. So when we say decenter men, we can even be really, really specific. Decenter cishet white men. Decenter cishet white men, right? But I would like to do it like this: decenter maleness. That's what we really, not necessarily decentering men, decenter maleness. We don't consider anybody else when we put males at the, when our focus is on upholding maleness and upholding masculinity and things of that nature. So we need to decenter that. We need to focus on women and children and marginalized groups of people. Her saying that women are not the victims in this society is statistically wrong, false, and ahistorical. It doesn't match up on any level. There's nothing to support that claim that women are now favored. The fact that women are outpacing men, though, in so many areas, like important areas like home buying and education and even making money or whatever, the reason why they're trying to use that to say, like, see, when it doesn't work is because, again, women are, or I hadn't said it in this video, but I say this all the time, women are overcoming in spite of the oppression, not because of it. You using the fact that women are because they have very few protections and they're maximizing their protections, maximizing them. That's what you're seeing women do. You're seeing women maximize their situations, and it looks like, oh, they're privileged. So imagine what would happen with women if we just remove the reins from them completely. And that's what men are fighting tooth and nail to keep in place, because we know that if you just really set women free, they will whoop our ass. Like for the next 50 years, it would take like 2 generations of men to catch up, because men are weak because we have been so privileged. Happens with every single group. Same thing with Black people. If you release Black people, if you set Black people free, right, we would easily shoot to the top. If the West stopped oppressing Africa, Africa would be the greatest continent. You know what I mean? Like in the next 2 generations. I'm not saying that Black people are inherent or innately better than everybody else. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying oppressed people are stronger than their oppressors. That's all I'm saying. Oppressed people are stronger than their oppressors. And that applies to women. That applies to Black people. That applies to foreign-born Americans, like whoever, because we have to work with less. We have to do more with less. But when you're privileged, you have all the amenities, all the tools at your disposal. So when you take away those things, or not even when you take them away, when you give others those same tools, they know how to use them. They go, oh shit, you guys got screwdrivers? I've always had to use a fork or a knife, a butter knife to screw in my screws. You mean now I got a Phillips head screwdriver? I have a flathead screwdriver? Oh my God, I'm going to be able to do my job 10 times faster now. But when you saw that screwdriver, you took it for granted. You went, I don't have a drill? Fuck. Because that's privilege. Now you're weak. You don't got that muscle. They got this muscle now to screw everything in. They can do that quick. That's how it works. We're not the privileged group. Men, we're not equipped. We're not like women. We're weaker than women because we have been given so many things on a silver platter. So if you decenter men and you center women to create equity, not to give women an advantage, because you wouldn't give them an advantage. If you just gave women the same freedom and the same privileges that you gave men, women would surpass us overnight, which they pretty much already have, because women haven't even really been like free until like the early 2000s. When you really look at like all the laws and everything that was put in place, they didn't really get their best version of autonomy until the early 2000s, late 90s. So there you go. And then we had about 20 years of women actually having some level of freedom, and look what they did with it. Look what they did with it. They're whooping our asses. And that's what men are afraid of. And those women who perpetuate that lie, that like, oh, women are actually privileged, they harm that because they're going to ultimately that will thwart any progress being made, because now now we're looking, oh, let's take that away. Women don't DEI, let's take that away. Let's get rid of that. Oh, Roe v. Wade, oh no, let's overturn that. Women don't even need to vote anymore. Like now we go in the opposite direction, because it's like, well, look what happens. It looks like we've given women an advantage. And the people who know, they know that their women don't have an advantage. They just know that if you free the oppressed, they kick ass. That happens all around the globe.